Now, if you're looking to add some attacking flair to your team in Football Manager 24, today's episode of Testing Your Tactics, we have Momo Pops's 4-2-4 no-way-jose tactic. And in this test, our team that we have tested with have been in the top 2 for the team stats for the goals scored throughout the season. But anyway, let's get into the episode and let me show you this tactic. Hit the intro. Now, as always with this tactic testing, we'll be going on holiday for the season. Our assistant manager is going to be in charge. We've got no badges, no past experience, and the transfer window is going to be closed as well. Now, if you like the video, let me know down below what your favourite tactic is that you've used so far in Football Manager 24. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into the test. So now a quick overview of the tactic. It is a 4-2-4 attacking mentality formation here. In possession, it's a fairly narrow attacking width, overlap on the left and right, focus play through the middle, and to play out the defence as well. Passing directness is much shorter with a slightly higher tempo. Whip crosses in the final third with run at the defence and be more expressive as well. In transition, counter press and counter, distribute to centre backs, and nothing else has been selected for the instructions there. Out of possession, high line of engagement, standard defensive line as well. Trigger press more often with get stuck in and prevent short goalkeeper distribution as well. Now, if you have a look at kind of the roles and the team instructions as well. So a goalkeeper on defend, take fewer risks and tackle harder as the instruction. 2 wing backs on support with cross aim towards the centre, stay wider and close down more for the right and for the left. 2 ball playing defenders on defend with dribble more, close down less, take more risks and hold position for both of these. Now 2 segundo volantes on attack, get further forward instruction for both of these. 2 wingers, 1 left hand side on attack with cross aim towards target forward, run wide with the ball, dribble more, cross more often, cross from the byline, get further forward and stay wider. Then an inverted winger on the right hand side with cross aim towards the target forward, sit narrower, dribble more, cut inside with the ball and get further forward. Now target forward is hold up the ball and dribble less on attack, and a false 9 on support with dribble more and take more risks. Now the first test we are going to be doing is with Feyenoord in Eredivisie. Media prediction is the second. Let's see how we get on. Now media prediction was second, but we've absolutely smashed that. We've won the Eredivisie. An impressive 28 wins over 34 games as well. 3 draws, 3 losses, a plus 70 goal difference, with 87 points on the board as well. If we look at the player stats as well, we had Mats Weifer with 17 goals, with 3rd in the charts there for goals scored, but also Lingere and Weifer for 1st and 2nd in the average rating as well. Calvin Stengs and Jakenbash on the assist chart as well. However, Naughty Hartman with the top most yellow cards in the league as well. Now it's been quite a dominant season for Feyenoord with this tactic. Top the goal scoring charts with 112 goals, 9 coming from corners as well. Most shots for. Top the charts as well with 619. That's 165 more than 2nd place Ajax, which is no mean feat as well. Fewer shots against, 3rd in the league with 266. Best pass completion 87%, but most possession as well 60%. Very good for this Feyenoord team. Most dribbles won, we were 1st with 624 across the season. We had joint 2nd amount of clean sheets with 12, and fewest conceded, we were 6th with 42 across the season. So looking at the team stats, we only conceded the 6th most goals in the league, but we absolutely smashed it with a goal scored, so a very good showing so far. Looking at other competitions as well, we were knocked out in the round of 16 by Bayern Munich in the UEFA Champions League. We were knocked out in the semi-finals to Ajax in the Dutch Cup, and in the Johan Cruyff Schal, we actually won this. Very nice to see. We beat PSV 3-1 in the final. But in the Champions League, we have a look. We topped our group with 5 wins and 1 loss in this. Our only loss coming to Inter Milan. It was a 5-1 loss, but we topped the group with 15 points in this one, with Santiago Jimenez the 3rd top goal scorer in the whole of the Champions League with 7, which is a very impressive feat. In the round of 16, how did we get on? We lost to Bayern, and it was only a 6-5 loss over aggregate, We did beat them 4-2 at the Allianz Arena, so very good showing for this tactic and for this Feyenoord team as well. Now we only drew 3 and lost 3 across the season, but some big goal scoring games in this one as well. So we beat Waalwijk 4-0 here. Volendam was a 5-0 victory. Sparta Rotterdam, we absolutely put them to the sword, 8-1. But it wasn't the only time that we scored 8 across the season. Pek Vol was 8-2, a 4-0 against Nijmegen. Then Excelsior, yeah, we put them to the sword, 6-1 across the season. And lastly, looking at the player stats, 22 goals for Santiago Jimenez with 7 assists across the season. Mats Weifer with 22 goals and 9 assists. A lot of goals in this team. So Lingre got 16 goals and 10 assists. Calvin Stengs with 13 goals and 16 assists. Ivanusek with 13 goals and 8 assists. With Ayase Ueda with 12 goals. Dilarosun with 11 goals and 11 assists. Quinten Timber with 11 goals and 11 assists. And Yakambash with 11 goals and 10 assists. So as you can see, a lot of assisting, a lot of goals across the season. A good first test with Feyenoord. Now let's move on to the Bundesliga with Mainz and let's see how we get on. Now Mainz had a media prediction of 11th and we've finished in a fantastic 5th place. Only just losing out to Bayer Leverkusen to get into the Champions League spots. So that's a massive 6th place jump there. 15 wins, 10 draws and 9 losses with a plus goal difference of 14 across the season as well. Now fantastically, we're the 2nd highest goal scorers in the Bundesliga with 67 goals and 5 of those coming from corners as well. Most shots for, we were 3rd in the league with 403 and we're only just behind Bayern, only by 19 as well. So most possession, we were in 8th with this one at 53%, but unfortunately our defence wasn't the best, so we're not on the most clean sheets of the top 8 or the fewest conceded either. And unfortunately in other competitions we were knocked out in the 2nd round of the DFB Pokal. Now looking at the fixture list as well, there were some good results in this one. It took us 6 games before we had our first loss, and that was to Mönchengladbach at 3-1, but we only lost to Bayern 1-0 as well. Now some very good victories as well. We beat Borussia Dortmund 3-2, a 4-2 victory against Werder Bremen as well, a 3-2 against VfL Bochum, and a massive 7-3 victory against FC Köln. And just like the Feyenoord test, the goals were spread around in this squad. Karim Onisiwo with 12 goals, Anwar El Ghazi with 11 goals and 7 assists, so a fantastic season for him with this tactic. Marco Rica with 8 goals and 9 assists, with Lee Jae-sung with 8 goals and 7 assists as well. So not as impressive as the Feyenoord result, however, the Bundesliga, it can be said, is a much tougher league. But now we have Brighton to have a look at. Their media prediction is 8th in the Premier League, and let's see how we get on. Now 8th is where we were predicted, and we actually did finish 8th in this one. 19 wins, 8 draws and 11 losses across the season. A plus goal difference of 16 in this one. I think this could very much be the similar sort of situation to Mainz, where the defence just wasn't good enough as a team, not as a tactic. But let's see kind of how our players did get on as well. Now, Evan Ferguson was 2nd in the goal scoring charts with 21 goals across the whole season. However, Joel Veltman and Louis Stunk were the naughty boys in the competition, topping the bookings charts as well. Now, we did score the 2nd most amount of goals in the Premier League with 86, 6 of those coming from corners as well. Most shots for, we were 8th in this list with 459 across the season. In the most possession, which is quite interesting to see as well, 56% average possession with this tactic. But as I mentioned, like with Mainz, we didn't concede, well, we didn't stop the most amount of goals going in, and yeah, it was our defence that kind of let us down as a whole. And in other competitions, in the Carabao Cup, we were knocked out in the semi-final to Arsenal. In the English FA Cup, we were knocked out in the 4th round to Liverpool. And disappointingly, in the UEFA Europa League, we were knocked out in the round of 16 by Rangers. But looking at the group we was in, Roma, LASK and Rakow, 3 wins, 2 draws, and our only loss coming against LASK as well. So 11 points on the board, finishing 2nd in that division, in that group. It was a good showing from Brighton in Europe. And we had a fantastic start to the season as well. We beat Manchester United 2-1, drew 2-2 to Chelsea, and then we beat Tottenham 3-2 as well. Although some kind of bad losses in this. Crystal Palace, we lost 2-0. Wolves 3-2. We lost 3-1 to Sheffield United. So some of these games we could have Could have got more out of it, but if you are controlling the team and you're making tactics and transfers to fit around the tactics, obviously you're going to get different positions and different results as well. Looking at some big wins though: Bournemouth 5-2, 3-1 against Villa, 5-1 against Everton. We beat Manchester City 2-1 as well, 4-2 against Burnley, a 4-2 against Brentford, and a 5-0 against Wolves. There's some goals in this tactic, and it is very interesting to see how you could get on if you did kind of handhold it and bring in your own players to fit the system. And lastly, looking at how the squad did perform, Evan Ferguson got 35 goals and 4 assists across the season. João Pedro, 15 goals, 10 assists. Mitoma, 13 goals, 12 assists. Ansu Fati, 11 goals, 14 assists. James Milner, fantastically enough, with 11 goals and 8 assists. Julio Enciso with 10 goals and 6 assists. Even down to Solly March with 8 goals and 14 assists. Pascal Gross, 8 goals and 12 assists. There's a lot in this team. There's a lot of goals scored, but also a lot of goals conceded. Now, if you can hit the sweet spot with the team that you pick with this tactic, I think you're going to get a lot of success. Now, in conclusion, this tactic does seem like a lot of fun, and I would recommend giving it a go. The amount of goals that you're going to score with this tactic is absolutely fantastic, and I think it's kind of for the higher echelon of teams as well. If you look at Feyenoord in Eredivisie, completely wiped the floor with everyone. With that, 112 goals were scored. We had a good defence for the league as well, and it was overall a fantastic tactic to use with Feyenoord. Looking at Mainz, yep, we went 6 places higher than our media prediction, but we're not making any transfers with this tactics testing. We're just going to go in raw as we are, and I think, honestly, if you're going to use this tactic going forward, you're going to get a lot more success because you're going to be buying players that are going to fit into the tactic, and during games as well, you're going to be doing your tactical instructions. It's a very good blind test for this, and it's a tactic I'll definitely recommend using. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you made it this far, let me know down below what is your favourite tactic you've used so far in Football Manager 24. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to see more videos from myself, they should be appearing here somewhere. But until then, I'll see you in another episode of Testing Your Tactics. Goodbye.